Hello everyone, thank you very much for watching. I am Santiago Garcia and I am part of the Fixalia team, which is the Spanish company that manufactures variable message signs. As you can see here beside me, behind the name of Fixalia is the history written in capital letters of what has been the VMS industry since it began more than 30 years ago. So today, I want to talk to you here not so much about the past, but about the future of VMS. In a changing environment where we try to foresee where the research and development resources will be put to develop new applications in the next few years, we, the VMS manufacturers, continue to be the ones that provide most of the information to the drivers on the road. And I am convinced that this will continue to be the case for a long time. Psychologists say that humans build projections of the future based on what they have lived through in the past. So today I'm here to tell you about that destination that, according to our vision, we believe is the one we are heading towards in this market. Come with me. Back in the year 1985, Odeco Electronica was born. I was 11 years old then. The first variable message signs were installed in 1990, and since then, these pioneers created a market from scratch, a totally new market. And to this day, technology has continued to evolve. In the heat of this new market, other actors appeared, causing the product that was installed on the roads around the world to be relentlessly improved. From the first single-color VMS they installed for the Olympic Games in Barcelona to the full-color RGB, there is a technological gulf, a lot of experience, dead ends, step backs, and many satisfaction. What we call standard VMS is the one we all know about. It is the one that is formed by a central zone or alphanumeric zone, which was designed to show discrete characters, which may or may not have graphic areas at the ends of the VMS to show pictograms of traffic signs, that it can have one or two graphic areas to show these pictograms. These graphic areas can have a pixel resolution of 64 times 64, 48 times 48, or 32 times 32. We also know about parameters such as height 320 or height 400 millimeters. This refers to the height of the characters. These VMS began to work between 15 and 19 years ago, and many of those first VMS are still working today. Nowadays, in 2020, the needs and requirements have changed. Luckily, we are passionate people who have made it possible for technology to continue advancing. Now, we can have many more possibilities when show clear and concise information to road users. All these VMS that you can see around me really are the same VMS. Amazing! Many of us have continued to develop and innovate, looking for new ways of doing things, often guided by the customers themselves. We are convinced that this technology is going to be, step by step, the one that will prevail in the future. In many places, it is already an unstoppable trend. The full matrix VMS is here to stay because it allows new features and enormous flexibility, possibilities that we would never have thought of in a VMS. And I think it opens the door to optimize the operating model to levels that we have not been able to foresee until now. Welcome to the full matrix world. As we will see now, it is a world full of possibilities and new functionalities that have much to contribute to road safety and the operating model. The technological leap has been qualitatively very important. We consider it the third era of variable message signs. The third because we left behind the old standard model, which in turn was a qualitative leap compared to the first units that were installed in the beginning. One very, very important thing that I want to highlight: a full matrix VMS is not a video screen, it is a variable message sign, and as such, it will display information for traffic safety. I want to show you here some examples of how we can configure the full matrix signs depending on the needs of the road. We can have the equivalent to the standard, such as this one, with two RGB white amber graphic areas and an amber-only central area, but which convert the panel, the VMS, into an entire amber canvas to be used when necessary. In the same way, we can configure a VMS with a single RGB white graphic area and an amber full matrix area, and doing it with the dimension that the road requires. Or we can have a full matrix RGB or RGBY VMS. This option could be called the top of the range. It has all the options. It is a fully equipped VMS. I want to show you an example of a client's requirement. He wanted 5 graphic areas, 3 RGBY and 2 amber, with the arrangement you see here, and we did it. Obviously, this could not have been achieved with a standard VMS. So, welcome you to the full matrix world. This is just the tip of the iceberg. We've only scratched the surface. Look, we have a canvas to show everything we need. We have strived to be able to show true color. We wanted to make it easy to use by including a web server on each VMS, so you can access to configure all the VMS parameters if you have a connection with just your username and password using a web browser. If we wanted, we can show animated pictures. There are places where this is not allowed, but there are others where it is a customer requirement. The ideal thing is to use the NTC IP protocol in order to take advantage of almost all the functionalities it offers. Let's talk about 2 important aspects: colors and protocols. First of all, I want to clarify that full color is not the same as octal color. Octal color, which is the way in which RGB VMS traditionally work, build colors with a combination of RGB, achieving 8 colors, 7 plus black. Full color or true color is the way in which at least we show the colors. Each RGB color has 256 levels, called gray levels, and the combination of 256 times 256 times 256 results in 60,777,216, which is the number of colors we can represent. Why is this so important? One full color is not the same as another, in the same way that this signal is not the same as this other. There are pictograms that are composed by standardized color that cannot be represented in an octal color RGB VMS. Full matrix VMS work with both DGT and NTC IP protocol. In fact, we manufacture them so that if they are integrated into a DGT network, it will work like a conventional DGT VMS, transparently to the user and the integrator. But to take full advantage of the features of a full matrix VMS, it would be necessary to migrate to NTCP. The DGT protocol, in spite of being working now in many countries, has limited functionality because it was designed for other types of VMS and to meet the needs from another time. It only handles fixed types and sizes of characters, the fonts. The spaces between the characters are also fixed. It does not allow to manage the canvas as a whole object. It does not allow to manage graphic compositions directly. The VMS configuration is very rigid and fixed, etc., etc., etc. So the NTCP protocol does manage the VMS dynamically, while DGT is only capable of doing it with predetermined types of VMS. Surely, the manufacturers have very a lot to make this technological leap. We are aware that it is not possible to do a protocol migration from DGT to NTCP in a simple way. We also know that DGT is found in many control systems throughout the world. In fact, many of us meeting here today are working with this protocol. We have not rested until we achieved the backward compatibility that we consider a key factor to advance. The new generation of VMS incorporate a greatly improved optics, a very low consumption, communication and remote control have been updated. We have developed an intelligent power system and optimized design to facilitate maintenance. So I assure you that we have done everything possible so that nobody has to wait for an undefined future to take advantage of this technology that is already a reality. So we have developed what we have come to call DGT+. It is an addition to the DGT protocol with new commands that allow access to all the functionality of the full matrix VMS. It even allows access to more functions than the NTCP can manage. For example, we can have absolute control of the graphics. We can move them, rotate them, resize them in a real time, stretch, shrink. We can have access to work with different types of font size. We can manage graphic and text at the same time independently. That is, we do not have to paint a bitmap with the information we want to display, but we can upload the text and graphics to the VMS right the way we want to show it. A super important subject, anti-aliasing. It is a technique used to add greater quality to a digital image by smoothing jagged edges on curved lines and diagonals, optimizing the display quality of any graphic or text. And of course, we look at it again, we can manage 16 million colors. Here you have the example of the Andorran flag. It is a real picture. Thanks to this development, we can integrate full matrix VMS in DGT networks and be able to access to all its functionality. Here we have an example in Madrid. Note that there are times when the message is the same as that of a standard VMS, but then, since we have the entire canvas and there are many fewer restrictions, we can display all the information we need to communicate. It must also be remembered that if the information is graphic, for the driver, the reading and comprehension time of the message is much less than if it were a text message. In short, DGT Plus is the perfect plugin to make the leap to the full matrix world from a DGT environment. It adds a set of commands, a set of additional commands. It handles the VMS as a single matrix as NTCP does. It would be necessary to integrate it into the control center, but meanwhile, you can enjoy DGT Plus and NTCP with Sherpa, which is a software tool that we have developed for managing variable message signs. We can control a VMS network and we could have this tool available at the transition time, for example. Sherpa was born out of the need to supply management software along with a new product that we have developed, the portable variable message sign. This VMS is mounted on a truck. Since it must be controlled and operated remotely, as well as having it geolocated and accessed to all its parameters, and in addition, managing a potentially large number of VMS at the same time on the same network, we developed Sherpa. Thanks to this, we have an application that allows us to manage any type of VMS, either working with DGT, DGT Plus, or NTC IP. I hope, my friends, that you found it interesting. Without a doubt, the full matrix world will make variable message signs continue to be a fundamental element of the signaling and road safety. The Fixalia team sends you a warm greeting.